Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday afternoon, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. Got a quick word for you. Tap in. Really quick, guys. I want to upload this before I start cooking and I forget. It's important to discern where you currently are. Where does God need you to be? And the reason why I'm saying that is because you have a group of individuals, such as myself, who typically run ahead of God. And then you have another group who typically lags behind God. Right? Where you want to be is you want to be on pace. But we're human, right? So my get ahead folks, such as myself, typically these are like kind of just that go-getter mindset individuals, A personalities, individuals where you may already have been in charge over certain things and God have you stewarding things like that. And so you're used to being always hands-on, right? And so it's difficult when God requires you to sit still. My individuals who lag behind God, these are typically my more meek, my more shy, maybe individuals who kind of struggle with confidence, things like that. That both are just as dangerous. So getting ahead of God, and my God, listen, listen, you talking about work God's nerve. I know I used to work God's nerve because I am like, seriously, I'm like 50 steps ahead of him. I'm a visionary, so I see it. So I'm like, God, come on, catch up. And then he goes silent on me. He will go silent on you, literally. And when he goes silent on you, like you're left trying to figure it out. And no matter what you do, you can't make it happen because you can't make this happen, right? So you got to sit down. My individuals who lag behind God, there may be certain things that God is calling you or requiring of you, but you might be a little shy. Again, your confidence is not there. So you're kind of just constantly procrastinating. You're making up stories to yourself. Oh, I'll do it next year. That wasn't God. I'm going to wait till the children get out of school. I'm going to wait this. Like you're dragging behind God. And it's really, the root of it is that you really don't believe in yourself enough, right? In this season, for many, right, because again, it's never all, but in this season, those of you who have already done your part, you've done everything that God has required of you. Seriously, right? Don't make any excuses. Like, you know the things that God have required of you. Let that be, I don't know, therapy. Let that be counseling. Let that be taking a certain course. Let that be fixing your mouth and stop popping off all the time. Let that be disciplining your flesh, fasting, this, that, whatever it is that God has required you to do. And you felt like you've done every single thing and you're just now you're sitting like, I've done everything. Just stand still. Because you've done your part, there's nothing else for you to do, right? Be still. And whatever God has promised you is going to find you. No more toiling. No more trying to make it happen. No more stressing yourself out. No more frantic mode. No more frustration. You just got to sit still. But you got to be so confident in knowing that you've done everything that you were required to do, that now God will come in and do his part. That frantic mindset of trying to really make things happen it's almost like because you're still doubting it. And if you feel like if you don't do it, God is not going to do it and all that other stuff. So this is why God throws our butt in isolation season, which in turn develops so many different character traits within us that once we're at the end of isolation or are currently out of isolation, this is why your confidence is more intact than ever. Because God have already pruned you and developed you to let you know that you are more than enough. You're just not enough. You're more than enough. So if you're newly in isolation and you're really struggling in the wilderness right now, when you come out of it, your confidence is going to be so. And this is why I always tell people. Again, I get a lot of compliments on my confidence, and I always tell people, confidence, in my opinion, comes when, first and foremost, when you know who you are in God, how God uses you, and you stand firm on that, regardless of if others agree or believe or whatever, but you know that you know, and you stay planted, right? And when you are your true authentic self, regardless, again, if people agree or whatever, you got to be your true authentic self. That's where your confidence is. You lack confidence, and your confidence is faulty and fickle because you're trying to be something that you're really not, because you want to get other people's approval. It's still that seed of people pleasing, right? That seed of rejection and abandonment. So if I don't do it their way, if I don't go along with them, then they're not going to like me. They're not going to accept me. Let me tell you something. When you stay planted in who you are, they may not like you, but they got to respect you, period. They can side-eye you, but they're going to respect you. And then once they realize that their hate or their disdain or whatever for you, when they realize that can't take you off of your post, right, or any longer, then they jump on the bandwagon. So you got people out here who are designed to attack your true authentic self, right? All sent from the enemy, so you do not stay planted in who you are, so you can reach destiny. Your stuff, the things that God has for you, your people, your this, your that, these people can't even find you because you're not yourself. They're looking for you, but you're not yourself, because that marriage or that relationship has broken you down so bad, or that childhood trauma that you refuse to heal, and et cetera, et cetera. So you're still dealing with trauma triggers, and God is not going to release certain things to you because your triggers are going to ruin what he has for you. So once you sit in your isolation season and God heals you from your wounds and your traumas, and then he gets you back to your authentic self, and then the individuals and the things that are for you will find you. They can't find you right now. That went left because I just knew I was talking about lagging behind God and getting ahead of God, but now I'm on confidence and self-esteem, so I guess somebody needed that. But you are enough. Whoever you are enough. You got to keep telling yourself that until you believe it. Stand in front of a mirror and just keep telling yourself you are enough. Even when you don't believe it as you look in the mirror, when you keep saying it over and over, you will start to believe it. But if you're broken, if God has not healed your whatever it is, childhood, marriage, abuse, whatever, rape, neglect, if God has not healed those traumas in your life, it's going to be hard for you to really identify and stand firm in your true, authentic identity. This is why you can't attract the right relationship. You keep attracting a certain type of people. And again, people say things like, oh, there's no good men out here. There's a lot of good men out here. There's a lot of good men out here, but you can't attract that because your mind is just not there yet. You're still wounded. You're still thinking everybody's going to hurt you and everybody's out to get you. And now when God introduced you to a great person, your triggers, he don't answer the phone because he's working. And you see there? Just like my ex-husband, he didn't answer the phone. You know, when we were married in 1922 and I found out he was cheating on me, now you're not answering your phone, so you got to be doing the same thing. Ma'am, I was working. Don't run people off, right? Because some of these people may be the individuals who God truly has for you, but you just can't receive them yet. But you're going to have to, if you've been traumatized like really, really bad, because I mean, listen, I think everybody has some type of trauma, but you got some individuals who were, I mean, really, really, really traumatized. Like seriously, one of my staff is like that. I mean, really traumatized to the point that If I make a quick move around her too quickly, she's jumpy, right? Because of things she's been through. Matter of fact, she did an interview here on my channel at one point. So you got to heal, right? Everybody talks about confidence and self-esteem, right? Or that they lack it. And first of all, I to about 5 of you who emailed me in regards to that, you're already on the right path because you recognize that your confidence and your self-esteem is to the floor for whatever reason, bad marriages or whatever. You recognize that. That's key because a lot of people don't even recognize it. There is like this fake facade of trying to buy this and buy that and buy this, but they're trying to cover up and try to make other people think by what they put on, they have confidence and they have self-esteem. That's internal. And then it exudes externally. But the fact that you recognize that, right? Now it's time to ask God to step in. Ask him, what is your route to healing? Because again, everybody's route is completely different. I don't believe there's a one-size-fits-all when it comes to healing at all, right? You got to go to God. You have to literally ask God. And then you'll start your healing process. And trust me, it's not going to be 6 months. So be patient with yourself, but it will all be worth it at the end. But anyway, to those of you who have done everything, just stand still. Stop toiling. Stop trying to make it happen. Stop trying to force this and rush this and da-da-da-da-da-da. Sit still. You're prepared. So now you're just ready to receive. It's going to come up on you. It's going to literally come up on you. And it will probably be when you, most likely, it will be when you least expect it. But because you're prepared, you are able to receive it. Stop toiling. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.